Hi guys! It seems like you enjoyed the last video, so I decided to make another one just in time for Christmas. Today I will tell you a secret. Santa is a bear. I know, right? I was shocked too. If you think about it, it will all start to make sense though. Who lives at the North Pole? Santa lives at the North Pole. And who else lives there? Yes, polar bears. I don't think Santa is a polar bear though. I think he's a regular bear and he just went up there to be on his own. He's a bit of a hermit, so he just went as far away as possible from everyone else and decided to make toys for everyone else. It's a bit strange, I know, but well, if you're a hermit and you like making toys and you don't really know for whom to make the toys, why not everyone else? Well, and then the other bears, the polar bears, went up there because, well, there was this guy who was making really cool toys and they wanted to find him, but they couldn't, and, well, but they liked the climate, so they stayed, and then they turned white, and, well, you know the rest of the story, right? Well, to be honest with you, I just wanted to paint a bear in a Christmas scene, and this seemed just about right. This is actually a present for my husband, who doesn't know about it yet. Well, by the time you will see this video, he knows, and he can watch the video too. I did have to be a bit sneaky about this whole affair though. I had to paint when he wasn't in the house, and since we both work from home most of the time, this was actually not that easy. But I found a day, and I painted this painting. I did have to make some choices in the painting though that related to not having too much time. For example, I didn't leave the white of the paper for the snow because sometimes that goes wrong, and I didn't want to use masking fluid either because the last few times I used it, it tore the paper. This is why I used the Posca Pen and gouache in the end. This was the only way that I could be sure that it would work out in the time that I had available. Also, while I was editing the video, I was always changing windows, making sure he was nowhere near, and I also found an excuse to make him watch a video or watch a movie while recording this voiceover so that he wouldn't hear what I was up to. Sneaky, right? Well, I just pretended I was self-conscious about recording myself, which is not true at all. Well, actually it is. But I guess Christmas is always a little bit like that, sneaking around, trying to find the right thing for your loved ones, and then making sure they don't find out about it beforehand. Or even the procedure of getting the presents under the tree can sometimes be a quite sneaky affair. At least in my family it always was. We actually celebrate Christmas on the 24th of December, not the 25th. And usually that happened in the evening. And at some point during that afternoon, the presents have to go under the tree. And you can't really do that when anyone else is in the room. We always had excuses to leave the room and find some way to sneak into the living room with the presents and put them under the tree. I guess all of that is much easier to do if it's happening during the night, and that might be the reason why for many of you Christmas is actually on Christmas Day and not on Christmas Eve. Not for us though. We usually get the presents a little earlier. I guess this is also the reason why I like to open my birthday presents on the night before at midnight. It's just the way I like to do things. Now to talk about the painting a little bit. Here you can see me adding the snow to all of it. And as I said, I do this with gouache, and later I go in with a Posca pen because I always have problems making the gouache exactly as white as I wanted to, even though this is not bad gouache, it's Schmincke gouache. Most of the rest of the painting was done with watercolors, more specifically with my favorite earth tone palette, Perylene Maroon, Indanthrene Blue, and Quin Gold. I have a really nice palette on the basis of these 3 colors and with a few convenience colors on top of it, and I can get so many nice greens with it, and the red is just a perfect shade of red for a Santa coat. Speaking of Santa's coat, this is actually not quite Santa. He is Father Frost, the Russian Santa. And you can notice this because of the stars he has on his coat. This is more of a Russian design. Normally his coat is blue, but I thought I wanted to have him stand out more with the greens, and this is why I used the red. They sometimes use red too. The only other art supplies I used were a silver jelly roll and some Faber Castell Polychromos colored pencil to add some details. I didn't record all of the details because they didn't take very long, and I always need to get a bit closer to the picture for that. Getting too close to the picture means, however, that I might get my head under the camera, and that's not good. I also find thinking about that sort of thing, is my head under the camera or not, pretty stressful while I'm painting. So I rather do my details when the camera's not running. I had a lot of fun painting this picture, and I hope you had some fun watching me paint too. The most important part is, however, that my husband likes it. And if he likes it, then I'm happy. Well, in any case, I wish you all happy holidays, and I hope to see you soon for the next video. Bye!